Welcome, everybody, to Night of the Nerdy Laser. I am one of your hosts, Richard T. Yule, and right beside me is an equal amount of host.
That's true, and I'm Jeff Lown.
The big elephant in the room. Just going to pull the Band-Aid off. Um, and this is nothing like crazy bad. If this is your first episode, you won't even realize it, I guess. But if you have been a longtime listener, Matt Henry isn't a regular part of the show anymore. Just a lot of stuff going on in his personal life, and as y'all know, we do FrankenCon. We've got Bride of FrankenCon coming up. He's back in the ring, the wrestling ring. So lots of things going on his end, and we decided that this would be the easiest thing for him to stop for right now. So not saying he'll never come back or not pop in, but for the most part, you're just stuck with us two knuckleheads.
Yeah.
Look at us
You'd be
pulling
happy
the
with it.
look at us pulling the movie merch, the great movie T-shirts.
Yeah. Two of my favorites, actually,
This
especially
is gutter. I think this is Gutter Garbs.
Pumpkinhead.
I love gutter. Oh, look! You won't ever show. You spent a weekend at my house, and I never saw any of your tattoos.
Sorry.
Okay, so we are Night of the Nerdy Laser. We are a spoiler movie podcast. We will probably be less spoilery than we normally are with just the two of us. We do shorter episodes, and we just like to be goofy and talk about the movie. So, but there are spoilers sprinkled throughout. Tonight we are on episode 80.
Can't believe that.
I know it's been a while. What episode did you come on? Who knows?
20 something,
20.
whatever the tomato episode was, I think was the first official one.
The Attack of the Killer Tomato.
Yeah, because I showed up on a Ty West and another
Oh
one.
yeah.
And then you're like, you want to just be on? I was like, yep. Sure do.
Sure do. That's right. I know. You're the only one that'll keep going. I love Attack of the Killer Tomatoes. I don't care what anybody says.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
That scene where they're all coming into the office and the desk just keeps getting bigger is
No, that's
like the hat. It's like the hat scene in Scary Movie 3. It's just the best.
Also very good.
So you can catch us here on podcatchers everywhere, here on YouTube. Subscribe, like, leave a review, do all that stuff. If you just type in Night of the Nerdy Laser, you can find the socials. That's our email at gmail.com. So just that's the way you can interact. I'm not going to bore you with all the details. You're smart. It's the internet. Night of the Nerdy Laser is the way you can find us. So we're still putting out episodes on YouTube, so you can catch us on video form. We got unboxings and trash talks over there. But we haven't even said the name of the movie, but you clicked on it, so you know what it is. It's Fright Night from 1985 versus Fright Night from 2011.
Yes.
And I, surprisingly, had never seen either one.
I don't know how you made it this far without seeing those, but you did.
I'm just that lucky.
More power to you. Yeah, no, and just real quick, since it is episode 80, usually on our every 10th episode we do a special similar to this or something else just to break up the flow of everything and give you guys something different to listen to.
Well, and we may be doing that even more on not every. Well, I think what we'll do is every 10 episodes we'll do the verses because that is fun.
Yeah.
But we are going to sprinkle in just common horror talk and bring on some people like Corey or maybe even Matt or Casey.
Maybe sneak
people that you may or may not know. What?
Sneak Taco in.
I'll bring Taco in for 2 minutes. He don't want to do
it. He already quit the show once. So.
Not my show.
No. It's full of action.
Yeah, I know. R.I.P. Yeah. So, Jeff, let me ask you a question. Is it possible for you to watch this movie and not think of Married with Children?
No.
And it sucks, right? Because she's really hot.
In this, yes, she
is. But all I see is Marcy.
Yeah.
From Married with Children.
Yeah, I could see how that happens. But until if you're not good with faces or just a bad memory in general, see, it takes me about a third of the movie to realize that, and then like as it's going on, I'm like, what? What's her
Oh,
face?
I instantly, yeah, it's and I don't know what the gap is. Probably just 4 or 5 years.
Yet
If this
it's
was
not
80,
much.
if this was 85, Marriage with Children was at least 88.
87. So yeah,
So 2 years.
man. Going from how she looks in this to that, it looks like she aged about like
15 years?
what happened? Like I man, I
I
don't
mean,
know.
part
That
of it
show's
is the
fun.
way they dress her too,
Yeah,
like they're dressing her to be stuffy and old. I mean, like
sure.
that's the gimmick. But all of them are probably fairly the same age. I mean, if you look at Ed O'Neill now, he's like as old as I thought he was back then.
Right, yeah.
Um,
What was in the water back then?
I don't know. Um, I don't know, but what's his name got it all? Paul Rudd.
Oh, yeah. He
Stuck
got
on the
all the
name
good stuff.
Peter. I don't know if that's right for anybody. I'm calling anybody. All right. So we've got a good cast in the first one. We break them up. 85 first. Chris Sarandon plays the bad guy. You might you might know him as Prince Humperdinck in Bride of
Princess Bride.
Bride of the Princess Bride, and I've been saying Bride of Frank Con way too
Way
much.
too much, yeah.
Princess Bride, and he is most notably Jack Skellington in Really, he's Jack Skellington. Anytime you see Jack Skellington in video games, whatever, he that's him. And then, like we said, we've got Amanda. I don't. What is
Pearson?
it?
Was it Pearson?
Bierce.
Pierce?
Beer.
Yeah,
I want to say Bierce, but that's just probably too complicated.
or Pierce.
We've got her playing the girlfriend of William Ragsdale, and that's Charlie, our main character in this movie.
Yeah. And then
Which
the big
he's
one
been
here.
around. What's that?
I said, and then we get to our biggest cast member. But what were you saying about Charlie?
He's been around for a while. He's done a lot of things. I'm trying to see if he was in one thing, which I should have done earlier, but oh yeah, he was. So I figured he
Oh,
was. He's in one of my favorite television shows of all time.
I don't know. I'm not gonna cheat and look. Herman's Brooks.
Herman's Head.
Oh,
He was Herman's Brooks.
okay, I just looked and cheated like I said I wouldn't.
The name of the show was Herman's Head, and it was on Fox. Did you ever see it?
No, but I'm not surprised it's been canceled. It was on
Oh no,
Fox.
he made 72 episodes. Let's give him a break, okay?
Wow, that's good.
Yeah. No, it was a very popular show. It was on after Simpsons, I believe, the 8:30 or 9 o'clock time slot on Sundays.
Yeah.
So what it was it was a show. Although I'm just now seeing he was in a movie called Frankenstein: The College Years. Need to see. It's a TV movie, so I need it to add to the collection. But anyway, Herman's Head, if you don't know what it was, real fast, is he was like a boring ad person, or he had some office job. But the gimmick was you saw his emotions in the head. So it's basically that movie Inside Out that Pixar did.
Yeah.
That's Herman's Head.
Oh.
Herman's Head just did it back in the 80s. So you have like Lust, and he's like this fat, like Liz Hottie, and then you have like you have all the things. Check it out. You should see the intro. It's funny. It'll explain the whole show.
Yeah.
But the funny part about that show is Lisa Simpson is in it.
Oh, really?
Yeardley Smith.
Yeah.
And she's Lisa Simpson. That's the only voice she does. That's her voice.
What is it? Is it Maximum Overdrive that she's in? She's in Maximum Overdrive, and then you hear the voice, and you're like, "What?"
It is weird. Okay, so
and before we move on to our last guy that I want to mention for the cast, I do want to say
there's two more.
Okay, well, Charlie, he was in Knock at the Cabin, which you just saw.
Who was?
Charlie, William Ragsdale.
Was he? Who was he?
He played Eric's father, it says. I don't know who Eric's father is because I haven't seen it, but you did, so maybe you know what I'm talking about.
He's in it for like 2 seconds.
All right, well.
And anyway. He walks off, so yeah. Yeah. Roddy McDowell,
Exactly. Yeah.
Planet of the Apes, right?
Yeah, he's just, I guess he's a kind of a horror icon on his own just because he's been in so many different things. But right off the top of my head, he's an alumni from class of '84. Or did we do that? No, we did '99 on one of our shows. Anyway, he's in '84. He's a teacher.
I've never seen it.
Interesting. He was also in Double Trouble
The
with
fuck
the
is that?
Barbarian Brothers.
Oh my God, it's a Barbarian twin movie.
Yeah. Yeah.
Love it. Also, we have Stephen Jeffries, which, I mean, I'm sure I know what he's been in, but he plays Evil Ed, and Evil Ed is, I mean, in both movies, is really a great character.
Yeah.
Better in the second, better in the remake, I think. Um, but yeah.
Evil Ed's in 976 Evil. I know that.
Oh, that, yeah. So not too much, I guess, but it's fine. He's good in this.
He's an iconic character, and he delivers an iconic line that pretty much every horror fan knows, I'm pretty sure.
I've already forgotten it.
You're so cool, Brewster.
All right, so we get a very Salem's Lot kind of plot, right? Like a vampire lives next door to this guy, in the Rear Window kind of plot,
Yeah,
where
definitely.
the kid freaks out because he thinks a vampire is next to him. Now the remake is different, so right now we're focusing on this a little bit, where we've got Amy and Charlie. They're dating, normal high school couple, whatever. Where he wants to do it, she doesn't. And that's how we start the movie off. Basically, they're
watching Fright Night.
No,
You there?
Yeah. I'm there.
Okay. That was a weird little dropout around like 28:45 or something.
I know. Hold on. Damn it. I wonder if this has anything to do with it. I don't think it does. All right. I think we're good.
Okay.
So basically, the movie starts off with Amy and Charlie. They're this normal high school couple where the girl doesn't want to do it, the guy does. They've got the TV on in the background, and it's playing Fright Night, which is, is it a movie there, or is it a TV show? Is he a horror host? I thought he was a horror host.
Yeah, I think he's a horror host and just does his own kind of thing too.
But he's a vampire killer on the show.
Right. Yeah, because they're always watching a movie. And then he's doing his thing.
Yeah, so it seems like a horror host type show, which is cool.
Yeah.
And so basically, we get a Rear Window thing, like I said, with him thinking the neighbor next door is a vampire with some good reason.
Yeah, bringing in coffins and displays and all that stuff.
And he has this guy. That just hangs around him.
I mean, I guess it's a vampire's assistant, but I don't know if there's a name for him usually.
I don't know, but
what happens to him at the end is weird.
Oh yeah, that's very cool. Look, the good news for this movie is the practical effects are really good.
So good.
Non-existent in the remake, but the practical effects in this one are really good, and they kind of make the movie really good.
Yeah.
So we get a really basic plot with the neighbor, the vampire, meets the girlfriend,
right?
And we're shown a painting of her in his house, and so instantly she reminds him of some past love.
Yeah.
So he wants to do her.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's basically the plot. I mean, of the movie in many ways.
Yeah. So I mean, with that being the plot, we get the kind of the side stuff too. We have Brewster doing his thing, and it's the kind of the classic uh, cry wolf tale, I would say. And with that, um, yeah, I don't know.
Son of a bitch.
There you are. What
Yeah,
happened?
not really. Hold on. I don't know what the hell happened, Jeff. I hit something.
Oh, there you go. Oh, you're back again.
And now I can't get. Fuck. Okay.
All right. So I was kind of talking about.
I heard you a little bit.
Yeah, I was just talking to. All right. I know where to go.
Okay.
You ready?
Yep.
Yeah. So you get your boy cry wolf kind of tale where nobody's believing Brewster, just because it's so outlandish. And even I think the cops show up at one point and they're like, "Yeah, I don't believe you." And basically, the vampire is playing with him the entire time because he has a secret on him, but nobody's believing him, so he's just like making his life miserable. And I think that's kind of a weird, dynamic. But his end goal is obviously to get his girlfriend. So
that is the end goal. And yeah, there's certain points of this movie. Amanda looks really hot.
yeah.
It is a little weird that he's like 40.
Who?
Chris Sarandon.
Oh yeah, yeah. I
Um,
don't know. That's just a choice. The more mature man versus the like immature Brewster that nobody wants to listen to or believe. And the other thing we didn't even mention is Tom Holland directed this one.
Spider-Man.
Yeah, yep, that's the Tom Holland. But no, he did Child's Play and a couple other things. But those are his big two that everybody knows him from. I would probably say it's a good film. Like we said, we're not going to spoil too much about it. A standard tale of good versus evil towards the end. But I do want to talk about the at least the vampire's assistant like getting shot, and the effects there are like really good. But then he like melts and then he turns to goo. So they did like a reverse like melting scene. So it looks really good. You could tell, but it looks good. And then he like turns into slime. And then he turns into sand, and then his skeleton's just like,
and then his skull falls to the floor.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very old school special effects. Street trash kind of. There's lots of goo coming out and stuff. So
yeah, no, but it's cool.
Looks like that. We get good special effects with the bat.
Yeah.
Brandon turning into a bat. And Evil Ed is cool looking.
Oh, his transformation too, which I didn't know in vampire folklore, turned into wolves.
I was like, what? So yeah, he's a vampire, and then at the end of the movie, he turns into a wolf, and he gets stabbed by Peter.
A railing, a handrail or something.
Yeah, I mean, Peter kind of falls, and I mean, it's, one of those things. We should talk about him. He's the host of Fright Night. And
right.
So Charlie goes to him to get help, because he thinks it's real. Like he thinks he's a real vampire hunter.
Yeah. Yeah. So he still has his like childish tendencies.
Yeah, and so he goes, and the guy is like, I love it because the guy is basically he got fired from his job on the way out, and then he's getting evicted from his apartment. I mean, nothing's going good for this guy.
Yeah.
And when he blows Charlie off, but then Amy and Ed come over, and she's like, "I'll pay you," and he's like, "No, I'm not going to help you," and she's like, "I'll pay you." He's like, "How much?" And then he does it, and it's great. It's just a really fun character. Reminds me of I don't know his character, but I've been watching Harry Potter. But the one guy where he's like, he's just a Hollywood guy, and then he's not really a great wizard.
Oh, the dude from the second one. I
Yeah,
can't think of his name, but yeah.
I can't either. I skipped the second one, went to the third one the other night. So, because I love Sirius Black. Yeah. And then they ruined his character. Anyway, so yeah, we get so we do get her turning into a vampire. So I mean that doesn't really spoil it. Because that's basically the goal of the movie, and it happens about halfway through probably. And I dig it. I just think that some of it, I feel like the movie kind of feels like The Burbs in a way. You see sort that of, at all?
Yeah, the small little neighborhood, the friends that are around and all that. But I love
and like
so.
What?
I said I love The Burbs, so.
Oh yeah. I mean, I love The Burbs too. So. I love The Burbs too, so it's all good. But it just felt like The Burbs, so I would kind of wish it leaned more into The Burbs. Corey Feldman's just on a porch somewhere,
partying, yeah,
yeah, and so I don't know. I mean, we get good '80s music, '80s everything, and that's what makes the movie good to me. Is just because it's '80s. It's funny because my wife doesn't watch this stuff, and I was watching it, and she walked by, and she goes, "Oh, it looks like Stranger Things."
Oh, really?
This look actually is Stranger Things.
Right,
like Stranger Things looks like this.
yeah, no, that's funny. That's cool though. That like Stranger Things,
but like not just by looks, but by the synth and all that. I mean, it's very. I mean, I'm sure this is one of the movies that the Duffer Brothers watched.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure it would have to be.
Yeah. So, I guess, is there anything more you want to say about the original?
No, I mean, I love it. It's great. I love, vampire movies growing up. So this was one I'd watch that, I enjoyed. But I'm glad we didn't spoil too much about it, because if somebody still hasn't seen it like you, I think it's a fun watch. Like you wouldn't be like bored or anything like that. I don't think.
No, it's for sure. It's for sure good. Goes by pretty quick. It's an hour and 40 minutes or so. Some of the character choices are whatever, but I mean it's a '80s horror movie, so
yeah.
I guess we should talk about the dungeon.
Yeah. Let's talk about Jason.
So Jason, our buddy down at the dungeon, you can find him on Instagram. What he does is he sells all kinds of wares, from VHS, DVD, Blu-ray, and any boutique stuff that we love, like Vinegar Syndrome, Synapse, Visual Vengeance. Visual Vengeance. That came from Jason, actually.
Yep.
See, and Jeff lives in Colorado, and he went to the dungeon virtually.
Yep, I did.
And you can too. Just follow Jason on Southland_dungeon over at Instagram. He posts about twice a day, and you can see all the stuff that comes in. If you see something you like, just send him a message. Y'all can work it out, and he'll ship it to you. You can go to southlandbooksandcafe.com. You can see all the links there and all the addresses, and and what Southland Books is. The dungeon is a part of that, and it's just a really cool place. I love it. I go there 4 or 5 times a week, probably some weeks. And yeah, we just love Jason a lot. So Dungeon at Southland. Um, and now we're going to replace Chris Sarandon with Colin Farrell.
Yeah, we sure are. And we're getting
So,
rid of practical effects and using 3D.
so the movie, did it ever hit theaters?
I want to say that it did.
But not really, right? Like, I don't feel like it had a wide release. I think it got lost in the shuffle somewhere, which is kind of shocking considering the cast is really awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, of course, you got Colin Farrell. So we're gonna get a little depressing for just a second
Yeah.
because we're gonna mention Anton Yelton,
Yeah.
and he's kind of amazing in this movie. I've not seen Odd Thomas, but I know people that love Odd Thomas said it was a really good movie. He was the star of that. It was based on a Dean Koontz book. And then he was Chekhov in the Star Trek series, the new J.J. Abrams movies.
Very good in it.
Very good. Yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah, he was great. At the age of 27, he was tragically killed like by his car, and it sucks. Like, it's just the weirdest happenstance. I've heard different things where the brakes fail. Like, he was in his car, he got out to check the mailbox, is what I heard, or maybe open his gate, and the car popped out of gear or something, and and it crushed him.
Yeah. Another one was awesome in was Green Room.
Guess what, Jeff?
Oh.
Never seen it. Yeah, so that it really sucks, man. I really think he would have been a big star one day. I mean, he was already headlining, having movies based on him being the main character. So he was already very close.
Yeah.
And yeah, it just sucks. So he's really good in this movie. I really liked him, and just made me sad. We get the cast is great. Toni Collette from Hereditary fame. Imogen Poots, which I think she's kind of famous now.
Yeah.
Christopher Mintz, whatever, Plaze.
Yeah.
He was in Superbad. He's McLovin.
Yeah. Fogel.
And he's in Kick-Ass, and he's really good in Kick-Ass.
Oh, and he was in Role Models, which he's really
Role Models is hilarious. It's such an underrated movie that nobody talks about, and it is great.
It is.
Yeah, Role Models is great.
David Tennant is in this. I believe, what was it, the 10th Doctor Who?
Yeah, well, he was a doctor. If I know my doctors. He plays Peter Vincent in this, and he's basically Chris Angel.
Yeah, he's Chris Angel, or a Las Vegas magician. It's pretty great. So he's real good in it.
We get a little bit of role reversal in this, right? We get Charlie, who's the dorky guy, and we get Imogen Poots, who is very good looking, and they're with each other, and she wants to have sex with him, but he's not into it. So.
Yeah, both versions of the Charlie are distracted by vampire stuff.
Yeah, I know, but it's Evil Ed is played by Christopher Mintz-Plasse, and I thought he was great.
Yeah, very good.
I really liked him in this. This is way different than the original. I mean, the basic story is the same, but they just, they do everything. They do what they do now. They stretch it out and they make it bigger, and it's good in some ways and probably bad in others. I don't know. What did you think about the remake?
So I actually think this is one of the better remakes around out there
Probably.
because it not only is it just, remaking it, but it's also its own thing. It does enough different stuff, but still keeps it's not so different that it's a different movie, you know what I mean? But
Yeah, no, you're right.
it's in a good like stratosphere of like where it's at with original and like remakey parts. But yeah, I really like it for that. I didn't see it in theaters, so I didn't see the 3D blood, but at times that kind of gets a little,
There is so much 3D in this movie.
yeah, it gets a little annoying at times, but I mean, I'm not going to fault it for that.
Dude, I would have shit myself with that motorcycle, that dirt bike, though.
Yeah, when it comes smashing through the like back of that car,
Yeah.
it scares you without it. Like the sound alone.
Oh yeah, but he's just like, if you don't like 30 Days of Night vampires, you won't like these vampires because that's basically what they are.
Yeah, it's pretty much the same thing.
Yeah, which is fine. I mean, I like 30 Days of Night.
Yeah, another
We
good
should
one.
probably cover that one day.
All right.
I saw it in the theater.
I didn't.
You were like 6.
I don't know about that.
So in this movie, there are some like plot holes in this movie as well, or not really plot holes, but just it just escalates really fast.
Yeah.
Like 1 minute the vampire's talking to his mom, and the next minute he's ripping up the gas line in the backyard and setting the house on fire and making it explode.
Yeah.
But I mean, at least we didn't deal with the whole movie. Charlie, you're what? Vampires don't exist. Because that gets a little old in the original.
Yeah, I agree. It does. The cat. It's going
Kramer.
nuts. Yes. But no, it's good because then in the first one, not only does the vampire kind of like play with them and like say like I'll give you another chance and all that stuff. Basically, Colin Farrell's just like I'm gonna kill you. So
Yeah,
he
he's more
has to kill
relentless.
everybody. He's have to kill anybody and everybody that gets in his way.
Yeah,
And then
he is.
Dave Franco
Very,
for no reason, just because they're sitting in a car.
I know. Yeah, that part was weird to me. I was like, a vampire wouldn't do that.
Just like go randomly attack two guys,
Well, especially out
owners
in
in a car.
public.
Right. Yeah, it
There's
is.
a great scene in this movie that I'm not going to spoil, but I'm just telling you, when you save somebody, it doesn't always work out.
Yeah, that's cool. I like that.
He also, so this vampire also has like this crazy house with like a barbarian type
Underground
hallway.
dwelling, yeah.
Um, so we get Charlie more investigative in this movie where he breaks into the house, and I hate shit like this, dude. And I think it all stems from that shirt you're damn wearing, because that
Oh,
scene in Misery where Paul Shelton is he is in the house.
yeah.
And Annie's pulling into the drive.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I can't. Even as an adult, I'm like, it just gives me a
The
panic attack.
anxiety.
I hate that shit.
The anxiety scenes.
Yes, I can't stand it. And I mean, Misery is the best at it, I think.
Yeah, it's good.
But in this movie, we get the same thing because he hides in a closet, but then he finds the barbarian type hallway, and he sees Colin Farrell kill somebody for real, or
Yeah.
at least bite somebody for real.
Yeah. So it like solidifies the fact. And the best thing about this is at first Charlie didn't believe he was a vampire. That's one of the big switches. We get his buddy doing it.
Yeah, Ed. We get Ed being the culprit of like when we get missing kids and
Yeah.
missing families,
Mm-hmm.
and we get a better view of like the neighborhood in Las Vegas. Like it's just secluded and it's really cool,
Yeah.
cool looking. And so yeah, we get Ed. They were best friends, but then you try to be cool and you want to dump your dorky friends, and he's dating a hot girl and blah blah blah, and uh, so he's not really friends with him anymore, and then Ed gets
got pretty early on, which kind of
yeah, and you
sucks
don't
because he
see
was good in it.
we don't see him for a while, and I kind of wish that he became the guy from the first movie.
Yeah, that would have been
Like,
cool.
but different, almost like a pet, sort of.
Yeah, that would have been cool.
Did you like Colin Farrell in this movie?
I did. You know, sometimes I'm like, I don't like that guy at all. But then,
I
like,
don't think I like Colin Farrell, but I like him in movies.
yeah, well, yeah. But I mean, like, most of the time, I'm like, I don't know. He just seems like the worst. But then, like, you watch his movies and you're like, oh, yeah, no, he's pretty good actor.
Yeah, he's Bullseye. That's gonna be terrible, and it's actually great.
Yeah,
I really love Bullseye and Daredevil.
yeah,
But yeah, they so that house explodes. Is where we get a really cool chase scene. Lots of stuff happens, and
yeah.
there we
No,
are.
yeah, and it's cool because and I was telling you this that Chris Sarandon has kind of like a cameo in the remake. He's the driver of the Cadillac, and I thought that was cool that they brought him back to do that scene.
Yeah, that is cool. I didn't notice it, but
Yeah, that's cool. And I also, like I said, I really thought that Doctor Who was really good in this, playing that like,
Kramer's part of the show.
yeah, I guess so. Anytime we're recording, he's like, I have to get in this.
Don't worry, I don't think the video is working now, so it's fine.
Oh, it's working on my end. So, but yeah, no, he plays that really good kind of like drunk magician guy, and he buys all the stuff, and then he goes in his panic room at one point, which is pretty funny.
Yeah, he basically works at one of the hotels as this like it's more of like a Chris Angel thing, not a horror host type thing. And but then I mean, and I like it. It's fine. But you think he's like the guy in Harry Potter
Right.
where he doesn't really know anything. And then there is a throwaway line so he has this paper and he matches it up to this safe that he has.
Yeah.
And it's the same paper.
Yeah, it was the like Sigil of the Vampire or something like that.
Yeah. So then, but we have a throwaway line where he's like, "Yeah, they killed vampires killed my parents, so I might as well try to help you."
But then, yeah, that's so weird because like he's just saying how he doesn't believe him the whole time.
Well, I mean, I guess I get he should have went on at least a 3-minute monologue on like why he did what he did, why he, like I get why he would pretend they didn't exist. He's just trying to push them out of his mind and all that. But it's just this throwaway line. It's really weird.
Yeah.
And it's not just vampires. It's this guy. Because at the end, he's like, you have your mother's eyes or whatever.
Yeah.
So like I don't know, they should have made a bigger deal out of that. If that was the case, but I'm going to say it is because that's basically what happened.
Yeah. No, that's a good catch by you too, by the way.
I know. I was on it, dude.
Sharp.
I mean, I had a good nap and then I watched the movie.
Yeah, well, you had the energy to get through it and like pay extra attention.
All right. So on the verses, we do rate both of them. We also, I mean, like I said, we're not going to spoil everything. So the end is crazy. It's very digitized. If you hate special effects and computer special effects, like they're not bad, but they're there. I mean,
they're very there and very noticeable.
Yeah, very, very much so. So if that bugs you, you're not going to like this movie already. So what do you rate? What do you rate the first one?
So the first one I rate 4.5.
4.5.
Yeah, it's almost a perfect movie for me. I really, really like it, like a lot. What about you?
I give it 3.5.
Okay, that's respectable.
It's good. I liked it. I mean, like I said, I didn't grow up with it, so like I just saw it basically today, so. It's just one of those things where it's fine. It's like when I saw Near Dark.
Oh yeah,
like everybody loves that movie, and I'm just like, meh.
Yeah, it's a good one.
It is what it is. Okay, so the remake.
Yeah, the remake for me that gets a 3, and it's like I'm like a 3.5 on that.
Yeah, it's a 3 for me. It's not, and I mean, I would probably prefer to. The remake is weird because the first 20 minutes, I'm like, this is actually amazing. Like, why didn't this movie get big, and why doesn't anybody talk about it? Then we finish the movie and we kind of find out why. There's a few problems,
Yeah,
but the first 20 minutes is solid.
yeah,
But yeah, I give it a 3 as well. Um, so have you seen the sequels to both of these? So both movies have sequels.
right. And Fright Night 2, the original Fright Night, that needs a big release. That needs a huge release because it's just as fun, just as good as the first one.
Oh,
We get some like really cool scenes. We get some kind of continuation almost of Peter Vincent, uh, and I think Charlie, honestly. But it's really good, and the because I want to say it's the sister of Chris Sarandon. Uh,
oh, that
she's like,
comes
"Hey,
out.
you killed my brother. Now I must avenge my father." But yeah, no, that's cool. And then the second, like the remake sequel, I think I've seen once, but I don't
I've heard
remember it.
it's not good, right?
Yeah, but there's no way it's worse than Jeepers Creepers Reborn. So that's another topic for another
That
day.
movie gets look. You can't just keep trashing a movie that gets trashed enough. I don't even if I mean I don't know if I should watch it, but
I hope you do. I hope you do, really.
um yeah. I mean, I didn't really like Jeepers Creepers 2, and that's considered the better one. So
Mm,
anyway,
yeah.
yeah. So I hope you like that episode. We're gonna be doing some different stuff, like we said at the beginning. Next week, do we have we didn't really pick anything, did
Yeah.
we?
So next week is actually going to be My Bloody Valentine from what 1981.
Oh yeah, yeah. I love that movie. I've talked about it like on 4 different podcasts, but I don't care. I love it.
Yeah, no, we're going to do
I need
that,
an excuse to watch it.
and it fits in. So we'll put 81 or episode 81. That'll be 81, and then our next one, I guess, would be my pick because that one we kind of just agreed on.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah. So I
We pick themes eventually, but
yeah, we'll get there. I was writing some stuff down earlier, and well, I'll tell you off air. We'll save it as a surprise. Plus, they know next week's
surprise.
anyway.
Yeah. Yeah, so My Bloody Valentine, watch it, love it. Watch a remake because that's a really good one. And I mean, maybe if we do get to 180, we'll just do My Bloody Valentine versus My Bloody Valentine because
There you go.
I love both of them. I mean, the first one has some problems just because of its when it was done. It's just weird, but I love it. So anyway, until next time, I guess they should only do one thing, Jeff.
Yep, they should keep it bloody.
Because somebody has to. Special effects are terrible.